The Mac that acts as your server isn't always handy when you need to edit user accounts or perform other setup tasks. So Rumpus includes the ability to manage the server from your desktop Mac, any internet-connected computer, or even using a mobile device. Before you can control the server remotely, access has to be set up on the server itself. So I'll start by opening the Network Settings window and flipping to the Remote Administration tab. To run the full Rumpus application remotely from a desktop Mac, a remote administration password needs to be set. And the IP address of the desktop Mac needs to be supplied for security purposes. A partial IP address can be entered to allow administration from any computer on your network. With the security settings entered, just check the box to enable remote administration. I've moved to my desktop Mac, where I've also placed a copy of the Rumpus application. When I launch Rumpus, the Setup Assistant opens, but since my desktop Mac won't be a server itself, I'll just close the window. Next, I choose Remote from the File menu, and Rumpus displays the remote connection sheet. When I supply the server's local IP address and the administration password, Rumpus makes the connection and asks if I would like to remember the settings to make it easier to connect in the future. To see how this works, I'll quit Rumpus and restart. Now, rather than the Setup Assistant opening, I am automatically prompted to make the connection to the server. Once connected, most Rumpus configuration can be performed from my desktop Mac, just as if I were at the server. I can manage user accounts, change web appearance settings, review log files, and more. There are quite a few options for managing user accounts using a web browser, so we'll leave the next Remote Administration tab for another tutorial and move on to setting up connectivity for mobile applications. For now, let's just enable mobile app access. Make sure my user account is set with administrator privileges, and then take a look at the Rumpus mobile app. The Rumpus app is installed through iTunes like any other app. Before it can be run, though, I'll need to specify the server address and my administrative user account name and password. Once the server configuration is ready, a simple tap of the Rumpus app icon is all I need to do to check in on the server. The first tab shows General Server Activity. The second shows Active User Sessions, and I can tap on any active session for details about what that user is doing. The third tab shows recently uploaded files, and again, I can tap any file for more detailed information and even a reduced size preview image of the file contents. The last tab provides management options, including the ability to perform a Rumpus server restart and view log files to review recent server activity. I can also view basic information about Rumpus user accounts. So that I can look up user passwords when I'm out of the office, I'll turn on the option to allow mobile users to view account passwords. Note that the practice of looking up forgotten passwords on your phone might be considered a security issue in some environments. Be sure that this functionality is in keeping with your organization's security standards before enabling this feature. In the Rumpus mobile app, when I view a user account, an icon is included that allows me to view the password. To obscure the password, click the button again, or just wait a few seconds and it will automatically be hidden. User accounts can also be created and managed using the mobile app, which works much like the web-based user management function. Account management with the mobile application is simplified and is not intended to replace the full-featured user account management functions in Rumpus or the web interface. Instead, the mobile application provides a quick way to define basic access for new users. I can select a user account which will provide default account options for new users, and I have several options for how new user home folders should be assigned. Accounts created in the mobile application can be assigned the folder defined in the selected default account, a unique home folder in that default folder, or a unique folder within the mobile administrator's home folder. For full details on how these options work, see the Remote Administration article in the Rumpus package. With mobile account management enabled, I can now create a new user account, assign basic privileges, and save the account. The new user can then log in whenever they're ready.